This is the Aftermarket Radio Network. Hey everybody, Carm Capriato, Remarkable Results Radio. Good to have you here. I'm in Toronto, but actually if you want a really defined area, it's called Mississauga, just northwest of Toronto. Such a big city, Alan. We're here with the AARO conference. A lot going on here. Automotive Aftermarket Retailers of Ontario, AARO.ca. And we're going to do a bunch of episodes here. And I so appreciate them having us out. There's a lot of friends that I have here in the industry. Alan Beech is here from Beech Consulting. We were talking about a good old friend of ours, Bob Greenwood, who was Canadian from out in the Vancouver way. I got to know Bob, I'm going to guess about 6-7 years ago. I have a great story about Bob. I won't share it with you all now, but he became a great friend, and we actually produced some podcasts of his in the early days of the Aftermarket Radio Network. And I'm in your class this morning, and you're referencing stuff from Bob Greenwood. It is amazing how Bob Greenwood's name and his teaching has come up over the years.
Absolutely. What a legend in our industry. And, you know, he earned a number of Lifetime Achievement Awards for how he affected our industry. And he helps so many people.
Yeah. You take your auto care center to the next level, the gold level, with the NAPA Auto Care Gold Certified program. This program is for the best of the best who can provide a consistent consumer experience and earn the trust of returning and new customers. Talk to your NAPA sales representative about how you can become a gold certified shop. You brought me a guest.
I did.
Actually, a fan of the show, too. Dilraj Sekhon. Did I say that close?
Yeah.
Wow. I was struggling with saying that, Dilraj. Third generation in business at RNS Auto, mechanical auto body glass. Wow. Third generation. So everybody who's out there listening, who's a son of a boss, an SOB. And I was once, by the way, so I'm with you. We had the family business. It was grandpa, dad, his brother, and me and my brother. And, you know, there was a long lineage there. And I can so appreciate this. And before we turned on the mics, I was drilling down, trying to find out, grandpa's still working, huh?
Yeah. I mean, he's always going to be the boss. He comes by every day, just checks up on us, sees what we're doing. I guess he just wants to be involved. He wants to care.
And in your heritage, nothing gets passed down until they leave this great earth, right?
Yeah. It's usually like that.
Wow.
I mean, we're starting to learn different ways. I mean, Alan's starting to bring in our education side of things and starting to understand why. It's more than just passing it on to the next person. There's other things around it and why it should be done.
Thank you so much for saying the word education, because I don't believe the word training should be used. I was in the hall. It was last night. I'm here doing the keynote on the rise of the mechanical and technology specialist, which has been my biggest passion of my entire life to get this language shift going in the industry. I want to change, besides the terms of the people who work inside of our business, not only internally, but in the customer's perception. There's all these other things like service rate versus labor rate and guide versus script and all that stuff. I was talking last night. I says, we should be saying education. I'm going for education. We are going to educate you. I'm going for a great training class, education class. It doesn't roll off our tongue. And I says, what I'd like you to do, Mr. Shop Owner, is to football just kind of come out. We had all these summer camps. And I said, and so I'm going back and I throw a pretend football and I pretend I caught it and I go back and I throw the football again. I said, what am I doing? I know how to throw the ball, but I'm training myself. I'm doing muscle memory. When I go and learn a new class on a new diag process, it could be new to me. I'm not training. I'm educating. If I can only get through the mind of everyone that education is the word for the process of getting our people trained, then we need to get there, because I think it elevates and it lifts your commitment to your people. And when your people are getting educated from you on processes and systems and how to be a great leader in sales and all the technologies going on in the vehicles today, they're out there with a commitment of you to educate. And when I think about a third generation, I heard you in class today talk about some great stuff. And I wrote down, I got to meet this guy, unbeknownst to me, Alan, that you were bringing him in the studio. I didn't know who you were I was sitting way in the back, Dilraj. And you said some really cool things about DVI. I mean, there's a lot going on in your company, but I'm very interested because a lot of people that listen, these are family businesses. they want to know how to succeed. And you are in a struggle of that because you've got dad, you're sitting at the right hand of him, I'm sure somehow. And then there's grandpa who also has a taxi company. Mm-hmm. Ain't that cool? And you guys were a taxi garage before you become a full blown to the public. But you cut your teeth on the hybrid taxis. What a great story this is. Fill us in.
Over the years, my grandfather has always been somebody that's taken risks. He's worked hard and family has always supported him. The taxi business was something that was big to him. He opened a garage to service his own fleet. So he had a fleet of about 55 cars that he operated his own through that shop. Over the years, with things changing, it slowly got smaller and smaller. I grew up there. Like everybody in my family worked there. It was like their first job. They would start there at 16 or 15 and they would learn how to work on cars and then move on to do other things.
Were they required to work in the shop?
It depends on the generation. I wouldn't say they were required, but it was usually the first opportunity that everybody kind of went for.
But the family business, there was always an unwritten rule.
Yeah.
You're going to work in the family business some way, somehow. You may not like it, but you're in.
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
You have any other brothers?
I have 2 younger brothers.
Are they in the business?
They are not. My dad actually did a pretty good job of giving us our own opportunities to do what we wanted.
Nice.
Yeah. So my brothers are both doing 2 different things. They're both younger. And myself, I just landed in the shop naturally. Like, yes, my dad needed my help while I was in high school and stuff, but I genuinely wanted to be there. I enjoyed being there for the family and working alongside my dad. I mean, as I got older, like when I was like 13, 14, every weekend, summer was spent there. As I got older, got into high school, maybe I didn't enjoy it as much, but I had, I guess you could say, like, came natural to me. Like I enjoyed working on cars.
That's what I want to know. It came to me natural.
Yeah.
Because you loved working on cars. What does that mean? You find yourself never wanting to do anything else but working on vehicles?
I wouldn't say just working on vehicles. I think I had more of the business owner mentality in my mind.
Nice.
Like I always enjoyed solving problems and working on cars. But ever since I was in high school, I always wanted to be a business owner one day, or just, I always saw what my grandfather did building these businesses. And I'd always be like, you know what? I want to do something like this one day. I want to take what opportunity he's given us and take it to another level.
Dilraj, are you a visionary or an integrator?
Can I answer that for you?
Yeah.
As your coach? So to the listeners who maybe can't see this, Dilraj is a 26-year-old who's leading this company. He's leading his grandfather. He's leading his father. He never stops thinking about the business. He's always thinking about the ideas to improve and where this business is going. To answer your question, Carmen, he is a visionary.
Yeah, I see that. You're a gift to your family, unbeknownst to them maybe. And I'm not saying that in a negative way. I'm just saying that his talent, his gift, is to take this business to another level and do another 3 gens.
Yeah, definitely. Like, I mean, there's so many reasons why I want to do this. And like, one, I enjoy doing it. Second, I want a better life for my family, especially for my dad. He sacrificed a lot to keep this business going. I just want to do right by everybody and also just show where I can take this.
So Dilraj reached out to me and he said, Alan, I'd like you to come in as my coach without his dad's buy-in.
Wow. Okay. Oh, there's a story.
And so when we arrived, tell a little bit about what it was, the labor rate, and maybe the presence of the office. Talk about the office.
So our office inside was all wood paneling from the 80s, like the shop.
Maybe from the 70s.
I know how dark that was.
Yeah, it was like that until like 2020, basically. So it was long overdue for renovation.
It took COVID, huh?
Yeah.
Almost.
And I mean, even the outside used to just be like a dull gray building that just fit in with the rest of the buildings on the block. Before I met Alan, I got me and my cousins together and we painted the outside of the building and it refreshed the place and did whatever we could do ourselves. My dad said, I'll pay for material as long as you get it done, we'll do it. Then after meeting Alan, I kind of pushed towards renovating the inside of the office. So we made it more modern. Around that time, we were only at like $75 an hour. I pushed it up to $85 an hour right before we met Alan. And then Alan has now pushed us from 85 up to 145 in the past little bit.
You get a cut of that, don't you?
Sure. Yeah. It's
we were talking about that with my last guest. Who would it be?
I'm grateful for it. I got to say, like, I'm actually grateful for having somebody like Alan in our lives and guiding us and steering us the right way, because I say this all the time to everybody is you really don't know what you don't know. Until I met Alan and met all the other shop owners in the group, we were just like a lonely island. Everybody says, like, We were coming to work every single day, just trying to pay our bills. We had no idea what the rest of the industry was like or what anybody else was doing. It kind of felt like everybody was in a secretive way and nobody wants to share their secrets about how they run their business.
Wait a minute. That's called secret sauce.
Yeah.
You can't share secret sauce with anybody.
I think there's more than enough work for everybody.
The NAPA Now event is a national ownership workshop for our valued Auto Care members centered around business building training from industry leaders. Now, it's not just about owning a shop. It's about owning your future. Join NAPA April 15th through the 17th, 2025 at the Venetian Resort in the heart of Las Vegas, known for its vibrancy, energy, and entrepreneurial spirit. At the event, ignite growth through business building masterclasses from leaders across multiple industries focused on expanding business opportunities. Now, masterclass topics include future-proofing your business, mastering emerging technologies for growth, leadership dynamics, inspiring, engaging, and driving success, shifting tides, understanding evolving consumer behaviors and your bottom line, and young leaders' lasting legacies, mastering succession planning for future growth. Foster collaboration with other like-minded NAPA Auto Care members and store owners. Stop at supplier studios for training, visit Auto Care vendor partners, and finally, join us in celebrating 100 years of NAPA Auto Parts, along with kicking off the next 100 years of partnership. There will also be exclusive giveaways. There are many incentive opportunities to offset the cost of this trip, including Auto Care program earnbacks, and beginning in October, earn up to $1,500 with pre-show supplier training to prepare for the supplier studio training sessions. The NAPA Now event is a national ownership workshop for our valued Auto Care members centered around business building training from industry leaders. Now, it's not just about owning a shop. It's about owning your future. Join NAPA April 15th through the 17th, 2025 at the Venetian Resort in the heart of Las Vegas, known for its vibrancy, energy, and entrepreneurial spirit. Get ready to grow, connect, and celebrate. This is an exclusive event limited to the first 2,000 Auto Care members. Packages are going fast. If you're interested in attending, contact your servicing NAPA store or NAPA salesperson.
I don't know. I probably have done this 20 times in the last couple of years. When I say I discovered secret sauce, what it really meant. I was at Apex. Oh God, I think it was 5 years ago. It hit me from the skies. I mean, I'm in my studio, I'm interviewing, and all of a sudden, boom, what's the secret sauce? The secret sauce is I can't pay my bills. I haven't cashed all my paychecks. I can't find anybody good to work for us. Marketing, what's that? I'm afraid of it. Social media, I'm not even sure. And I don't want to share that with anyone. That's why I don't want to share my secret sauce, because I am miserable and I'm failing. That's the wrong way to approach it. I want to come and learn. Give me one cool thing. I mean, we started the podcast on listen to learn just one thing, right? And here it is. People don't want to share because they are afraid to share. They're embarrassed about sharing. And we've busted our hump on this podcast to tell stories so that individuals can grab it and do something with it and find an avenue of change, and to say, I got a networking group. I found myself a coach. I've come to meetings. I'm constantly learning. And I don't think you have to be a visionary like Dilraj, but if you start doing one specific new thing every week, every couple of weeks, once a month, and you do 12 new things to improve the business, but you do it with the team in tow.
Yeah.
Leader looks behind them. I got the train going, the northbound train. Now I'm gaining leadership confidence. The business is growing. People love to come to work. They never did before, but now they are. There's a million things to grow a great business. How's the culture in your place ever since you've gotten, inside?
I would say it's pretty great. It's a very positive environment. Everybody uplifts each other. Everybody's very supportive of each other. I've tried to make it an environment where we're growing as a team. And if a problem does arise or somebody goofs up, that we work together to solve the problem and learn from it together. It's not about just beating somebody down because they made a mistake, because that can really kill an environment, right? We all work together.
Definitely a caring environment of taking care of people. One of the things that I've seen in the number of years and going from 75 to 145 is the whole challenge around his community. When we first started this work at $75, it was primarily an ethnically based community that was dealing there. Price was very much an issue. That has been changed. He's turned over almost his complete clientele into a new loyal following. And what a challenge, and what courage that takes to know what's best for your business and transform it. Do you want to speak to that, Dilraj?
Yeah, definitely. For anybody listening to this that is scared or worried about that, like if you're as caring as all of us, I hope are, you just have to have faith in yourself to just make these changes, because I feel like at that time we were worried that we were going to lose all of our business. But I just told myself that we'll give the best service possible, because that was the one thing my grandfather always preached. Always give great customer service, always do the right thing, and just do right by people. And I just took that mentality and try to implement it and just try to differentiate ourselves from other people. Like, people are willing to pay more. Just what are we offering that makes them comfortable to pay us more? Like, we need to step it up as an industry ourselves, right? I just took that mindset and ran with it. And in turn, it ended up creating a better work environment for myself, because I got to say, the only reason I wanted to change things was because of what my environment was like. Like, I was doing so many different things at once, like calling customers, shuttling people, working on cars while estimating, sometimes doing body work till the middle of the night. Some weekends or nights we were towing cars at night as well. So like, something needed to change here. And the only way it could change is if we could afford more. And the only way we could afford more is if we gave better service and charged for it correctly. And in turn, it's completely changed my life. Like, I'm grateful for it.
It seems to me that your dad gave you the freedom to try stuff.
Yeah, definitely. He was a big supporter of me. He wanted me to take any opportunity I could, any kind of training courses I wanted to go to. He never said no. He would push me to do things.
And at the same time, he wanted you to explain before you would do it.
100%. Yeah. Like, I didn't
So
have
he would say, why?
Yeah.
Yes.
And you would have to have a really good answer.
Yeah.
And it sometimes took a week or two to get him convinced, but he would always come on board. An amazingly courageous man himself, out of where he came from in his life, and for him to step up and to trust his son.
Did you meet together, or did you meet Dilraj independently in the beginning?
The first meeting was independent.
Yeah.
It's just with Dilraj.
Yes.
And then you somehow said, Dad, I'd like you to meet this coach/expert.
Yeah.
And he probably said, what the hell do we need him for?
Basically, I think the first call we had was over Zoom. I think that was like, I guess, the start of the uncomfortable conversations. Like, bringing on DVIs wasn't a problem. He was all for it. He understood. As long as I put the work in to get it done, he was supportive of it. But bringing on a business coach, that's when we were like, do we want somebody involved in our business, looking at our numbers, or really just kind of telling us what to do and whatnot, right? It was a very uncharted territory for us.
Because in your community, that wouldn't have happened.
Yeah. It's not the most typical thing to do. Everybody usually just knows enough on their own and tries to figure it out on their own.
Wow. DVI. So you were doing this little section on DVI this morning, and I was watching Raj, and he was just, and I had no idea that you were the guy I was going to interview this afternoon. So I'm in the back of the room watching. You were passionate. You're all in on DVI.
I love DVIs. Like, every single car that comes to the shop gets a DVI, including our taxi fleet that we service through there. It's so much more than a report that you give to a customer. It adds protection for your business. It gives you something to refer back to if a client's coming back for deferred work, or you're looking at a previous inspection or something that a client came back for and said, hey, you guys never told me this was right or wrong before. You have everything documented in pictures. Even just protecting your technicians. I've had 3 instances where it's saved us, where a client has said, oh, that damage wasn't there before. And from our 4 corners photos, it showed that, hey, this damage was here before. I mean, overall, I'm a big fan of DVIs, and I think that's the way the industry needs to go.
And if I may, he's a big fan of moving technology forward.
Yeah, let's talk about that. I heard this whole automated, the specialty, EV, all that stuff. What are you doing?
Tons of stuff. Okay, what are we talking about? EVs or about the shop process?
Yes.
I mean, EV side of thing, I'm still working on it. Like, we're embracing EVs. Like, with hybrids, we've always done like rebuilding hybrid batteries, doing transmissions on them, and just servicing them with our Camrys because we had a fleet of them. And I went to STX for a training on Teslas one day. Through the training, I just realized that this is a simplified hybrid vehicle. Like, you take the ICE out of it and it becomes extremely easier. Just the fact of the high voltage that you need to work around. But if you understand how to work on a hybrid with high voltage, you can work on an EV with high voltage. And then that side of it kind of turned into, okay, these cars require maintenance. And we live in Canada. There's corrosion, there's rust, things do happen. I mean, we just had a Tesla Model 3 in our shop the other week that had mice that went right through it, chewed up a bunch of wiring. It was a lot. So there is an opportunity here. And it's kind of nice that there's access to information now so we can work on the cars. However, the next level, I guess I want to get to is learning how to rebuild those battery packs or learning how to rebuild drive motors. Because for me, I had a client where they needed a drive motor and I kind of wondered, like, it was a very expensive drive motor. And I was like, we don't get as many used ones here in Canada as accessible as it is in the States. So we need to learn how we can, I guess, rebuild these in the aftermarket or fix these in the aftermarket. And that's our opportunity as an aftermarket in the industry.
Speaking of that, I can't help but think that the next generation of transmission shop will be a drive motor shop.
Yeah.
That we won't have transmission shops anymore. We'll have drive motor shops.
There's a lot going on. And I don't think it's as complicated as people make it seem. And it might be easier than people think. It's something new and we need to embrace it.
Where'd you come up with glass?
Glass came into our business. Well, Alan recommended it and I thought it was a great idea, being that we already offer maintenance, repair of vehicles for service, as well as collision work. So we have a 5-bay body shop in the back, 6 bays mechanical in the front. And then we decided to add glass into the business because that was the only missing component that we sublet out to other shops. And I was never really happy with other companies doing our chip repairs. It never looked that great. So we just stopped offering it. And then I was like, you know what? If we can offer everything in-house for our clients, our RNS Auto Touch goes on everything. And we can make sure our client gets back a car that we're satisfied with the way we want it done, rather than somebody else going into it and producing a service that we're not completely happy with, right? I mean, everything I do is built on clients wanting to maintain and keep their cars in the long run in one place. So if we're doing an inspection, we notice that there's bodywork or there's a chip on the windshield, we'll have that whole discussion where we're presenting that with their ball joint or their alignment that's required, or if they need tires. Everything's taken care of in-house.
Amazing. 26 years old. Is dad in lockstep with you all the way? Are you asking him to do some of these chores to get all this stuff done?
Yeah, we work on it together. I gotta say, I'm probably more of the, like Alan said, visionary. I'll take risks. I'll push for the opportunity.
Can you count on dad to be your integrator?
Yeah, 100%. Like he's right there by my side. It's only like sometimes we might get resistance because maybe one of us has a fear, but I think anybody in business together as partners.
Conflict is natural.
Yeah, it's natural. So what I've noticed is having meetings weekly has been a big difference between us being on the same page and being like, okay, yes, this is the step we need to take next. Let's do it together. It's helped make us stay on the same page and become more confident making decisions faster.
Did you ever listen to my podcast?
Which one? I listened to a lot of them.
Oh, just checking.
Okay. Yeah. No, I religiously listen to your podcast, like in the morning, in the car, on my way home from work. Like I learned a lot from your podcast alone, working alongside with Alan as well, and implementing so many changes into our shop and just understanding how an automotive shop should be run today.
Do you go to the gym? Do you listen there?
Yeah, definitely. So like instead of listening to music in the morning, I usually put on one of your podcasts and I'll listen. And if something really connects with me, it'll pump me up even more.
Maybe we should start putting music behind our shows so that they can get both. I don't know.
Yeah. Or like Apple Fitness work. You know? You could have Carm Capriato behind the fitness.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And blood's flowing, your mind's thinking, you get excited.
We got to use music in the introduction and get a good beat going. So, hey, if you're on the treadmill, here's what you got to be at, then the show.
I don't know. Maybe I need to look into this or something, but I believe something between like moving your body, even if you go for a walk in the morning or something, you're listening to a podcast, having your blood flowing while listening to something that you really want to listen to, it gets everything going really well.
Ever listen to my show, Alan?
Sure do.
Okay.
I think I told you a story a little just before we started.
Okay, I'm being patronizing here. Everybody knows now.
But there's two things that just impact my coaching and I deliver to my clients. One is your interview with Bob Greenwood of cost per build hour.
Oh, yeah.
Just powerful. I can't remember who the other, I think it could have been Uwe Kleinschmidt. And it was around average estimate.
The average estimate, yeah. It could have been Uwe.
Yeah. So
yeah, I saw you mention him in your class today.
There's a lot of people that have come before us and bring us help.
Yeah.
And if we can learn from this.
We're always looking for great stories. In fact, it has been a great couple of days. Tracy and I spent time with the car and, there's always neat times, Dilraj, this reinvention thing that it needs to go on in people's lives, personal, business, and family. And we come up with some really cool ideas for future episodes and maybe some neat, new and different strategies. And we are nothing different than a great business wanting to constantly stretch And I always call that lean over your skis. And it seems like at 26, we got to have you back in a few years to be a Canadian superstar shop owner.
That's the vision.
He said the word. Good for you. Anything else that you would love to share, motivate one of our listeners at all?
The one thing I would say is just don't be so scared to try things. Take that step out of whatever your comfort zone is, because a lot of times we'll be stuck in this comfort zone for a long time, and it's going to stop us from really pursuing the life that we actually want. Your whole life can change just by taking one step forward.
I'm going to give you the last word. Thank you. That was great. And hopefully you listened to what this young 26-year-old third generation shop owner told you. And if Dilraj can do it, then you can too. Give you the last word in a second. We're here at the Automotive Aftermarket Retailers of Ontario, AARO.ca, for 3 days of class. The Linder training is happening, I believe, on Saturday.
Friday and Saturday. Brandon Steckler is going to be here, and Scott Schotten, right? Two great friends of ours and the podcast, and great management training going on today, and a lot of episodes that I have. And I'm doing my keynote on the rise of the technology mechanical specialist here in just a few hours. So this was great prep for me. I thank you. Last word. So you said a moment ago, secret sauce.
Yeah.
That was a light bulb going on in my own life. That's why people are afraid.
Yeah.
When we come into an event like this and we rub shoulders and we talk the way we're talking, we help each other and we help each other to grow. And there's nothing more special.
You're absolutely right. Hey, thanks, Alan. Thanks, Dilraj. Appreciate it.
Thanks for being on board to listen and learn from the premier automotive aftermarket podcast. Until next time.